The first console I owned was the PlayStation 2, and Resident Evil 4 was the first game I bought for it, and I can never forget that feeling. The feeling of getting scared, that anxiety of inventory management, that spooky, moody atmosphere, and of course, my reaction to hearing this. Well, this nostalgia driven madman wanted to feel all that experience once again, but this time in 4K with upgraded visuals, haptic feedback, new gameplay mechanics, and a whole new set of trophies. So, without wasting any time, let's start with
Resident Evil 4.
For those of you who haven't played the original or the remake, the story is straightforward. We play as Leon S. Kennedy, who's a special agent, and we are somewhere in rural Spain trying to find Ashley Graham, who's the daughter of the President of the United States, who went missing. Well, before finding Ashley, we must find one of our partners who went to take a small washroom break but hasn't returned in a while. We walk through this dark, moody, but gorgeous looking woods and see a lodge, and something seems quite off about it. Upon entering the lodge, we meet a creepy looking guy who tries to attack us, but we take care of him. We find our missing partner's body in the lodge, and the villager reanimates as a zombie-like form and tries to attack us again. And well, we finally kill him. We traverse a bit through the woods to find a village where we see the villagers going crazy and burning off our other partner. We are too scared to save him and try to sneak the fuck out of this area, but we fail and now have to fight off against a large group of psychopath villagers. I'm not gonna lie here, this section really reminded me of the first time I played the original, because basically I died a good few times just like then. But it all seemed so new at the same time with all the new upgraded mechanics like using the burning cow, sneaking, and the villagers hitting each other. After fighting off against a good number of enemies, an iconic character makes his entrance, the Chainsaw Dude. We run upstairs to grab a shotgun and fight off against more villagers and are saved in the nick of time by the church bell, which makes everyone leave the area. We then move forward through the village, collecting loot, fighting some more villagers, and shooting these strange blue medallions. While fighting off against one of the crazy villagers, I parried their axe swing with my knife, which popped my first trophy. We then free Lewis and get thrown by the big cheese, only to get infected with the Las Plagas virus. We then find ourselves without our gear and have to fight off against a couple of villagers using a knife. We finally find our gear and meet with one of the most iconic RE4 characters, the Merchant, who gives us a trophy for completing the Blue Medallion quest and another one for upgrading a weapon. The remake does such a good job of adding these extra side missions which add so much to the exploration. Also, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't like the new Merchant's voice too much, like it doesn't hit the same way the classic one did. Anyway, we move forward and we unlock another trophy for finding a clockwork castellan and complete this chapter. We then make it to the church, however the gate's closed, so we now have to find a key to open it. We fight off some more villagers and meet up with the merchant who had a new shooting range ready for us to improve our aim. Trying it out for the first time gets us a trophy. There's a really annoying trophy tied with the shooting range, but more on that later. Continuing further, we fight off against a giant sea monster who is pretty much the same as the original one, and we have to avoid getting hit by it while harpooning it to death. Killing it gets us another trophy. We are then introduced to villager enemies who have a parasite on their head, and we also unlock a boat to navigate around the lake area. We find the key to the church gate and head back and are confronted by a giant monster. As we struggle to fight this monstrosity, a doggo we saved earlier comes to our rescue and we beat this giant boss. We then unlock the church door, solve a light puzzle, and finally find Ashley. The church is then surrounded by a horde of villagers and we have to make an escape. While fighting off against the villagers, Ashley gets captured and freeing her just at the right time gets us a trophy. We are then getting chased by a huge group of villagers and meet a dead end. Luckily, Lewis comes to our rescue right on time. We are trapped inside this cabinet and have to fight off against a wave of villagers. I'll give credit to the devs for not making us manage Ashley while we are fighting this wave. Thanks to Ashley, we make an escape and the nightmare ends. I mean, it seems to, at least. The remake skips the option the original gave us here between fighting off against the Bella sisters or the El Gigante. I love the Bella sisters cutscene in the remake but ain't a big fan of the fight as the anxiety of getting beheaded be real here. Up next, we fight off against the Big Cheese. I like the fact that we can parry and avoid most of his attacks, which will definitely come in handy for the harder difficulties. For now, we fight him rather easily and take out the lower half of his body. Turns out he can use the tentacles around his back to swing across the room. This section was a bit challenging at first, but nothing too overwhelming. Killing him gets us another trophy. We then make it to the next area, which is this awesome looking castle that has this mysterious looking cult members who attack us right on sight. And we get introduced to the main boss of this area, Ramon Salazar. Again, I was a bit underwhelmed by the new Salazar, as the one in the original was gold, and I really missed the banter between him and Leon.
I've sent my right hand to dispose of you.
Your right hand comes off?
Say whatever you please. Die, you worm!
We fight up against the Wolverine guy and make our way to one of the most infamous levels, the water room, which was good, but again didn't have the same effect as the original. I know, you guys must be thinking that I'm nitpicking here, but I don't know, I just wasn't intimidated the same way that I was when I played it on the original. Don't get me wrong, I think they did a really amazing job with the remake and I love it, but I don't know, the original will always be the original for me. Anyway, with that rant out of the way, let's focus on the main mission here, which is to save Ashley and get all the trophies. We escape the water room and see Ashley get mind controlled by Sadler. She runs away and we now have to find her again. We then meet our old friend / love interest, Ada Wong, and let's just leave it there, as again, I'm not a big fan of her character in the remake. We come across another cannon and use it to blow El Gigante and a giant door to unlock the path forward. I saw a few enemies waiting for me near the door and decided to shoot them off with the cannon to save some ammo, which got me a trophy. We find Ashley again, fight off against parasitic zombie doggos and find our way through the garden maze. We then get trapped and are separated from Ashley again. We now have to play as Ashley and save Leon, which was a nice touch. After saving Leon, Ashley gets captured by one of Salazar's men and we have to go save her again. We are introduced to one of the most annoying enemies in Resident Evil 4, which are these parasitic bugs who are super frustrating to deal with, especially on the harder modes. We finally make it to the room where Ashley is held. Turns out it was a trap, but we somehow manage to escape death. We traverse through the sewers and find ourselves in a position where we have to fight off against Salazar's right hand creature while we wait for an elevator to escape the area. It's a bit tricky to fight it and I usually avoided the fight in the original game to save some ammo. However, I wanted to kill it here, which was a big waste of ammo but got me a trophy.
Finally, some peace and quiet.
We meet Lewis, who has a present for us, and it turns out we are in a mine near the village. We take a fun roller coaster ride with Lewis across the mine section, and just as we are about to get out of this section, Lewis gets killed by our old mentor Krauser, and we barely escape him.
Long time no see, rookie.
I love that they brought him here in the remake as opposed to seeing him in the island, but I miss the cinematic of Leon getting saved by Ada in the original. Anyway, we make our way through the rest of the castle section and face off against Salazar. I'll be very honest here, I hated the fight in the original and I would always use the rocket launcher against him. I wanted to see how much of it was changed in the remake and well, I still ain't a big fan. We finish off Salazar, which gets us another trophy. We then see Krauser escaping with Ashley on a boat and we follow him on another boat with Ada and are brought to the third area of the game, the military island. We are greeted by some new enemies who are way more aggressive and a bow dude instead of JJ. I really like the new guy, but seeing JJ was just something else. Anyway, we move forward fighting off against a huge wave and make it to another iconic section in the game. I was so nervous here as I was really curious to see if this section was the same or if it had changed too much. Well, I was both rejoiced and horrified seeing.
What the fuck are you?
Damn, They look even more terrifying than ever, and I love this section. Moving forward, we find a special scope to fight off against the regenerators. While fighting off against two of them, I accidentally shot two parasites at once, which got me another trophy. We then find and free Ashley again and decided to take a break from the story and train a bit in the shooting range. There's a trophy to get S rank in all the shooting range, and honestly, playing with a controller on this section is one big chore, especially if you're going for this trophy. It took me a few hours, but I managed to get S on all of them, popping real Deadeye, and I also unlocked trick shot for destroying 5 targets at once. We then traverse further, fight off against Iron Maidens, unlock another trophy for fully upgrading a weapon, and Ashley operates a crane and destroys a wall. We are separated from Ashley again and one-on-one against Krauser, who was way tougher than the original fight. Killing Krauser gets us our revenge for Lewis and a shiny trophy. We then meet Mike, who helps us fight off against a large group of soldiers and gets killed by the bugs. Well, rest in peace, Mike. We then finally find Ashley again, and Ada sacrifices herself so that we can escape. We cure both ourselves and Ashley and make it to the final boss fight, where we have to fight off against Sadler. As the fight progresses, Ada throws the rocket launcher to finish Sadler off for good. After a satisfying finish to the boss fight, the trophy pops up and we have to escape the island with Ashley. Escaping the island finished the first playthrough and got me a trophy for finishing the game on standard mode. Since I did not check out the trophy guide before, I thought that I only had to play the game on Pro mode, get an S+ rank and a playthrough on assisted to get the collectibles trophy and other miscellaneous ones and unlock the platinum. But turns out that it was way more complicated than it seemed. But more on that in a bit. I restarted the game on Pro mode and thought, how difficult could the game possibly get, since I already played the original on Pro mode countless times. Well, I clearly wasn't ready for what came next. Also, I should add here that I didn't have any bonus weapons or unlockable perks like the helmet or the chicken hat, which made this even harder. Damn bro, shit just got real. It was a nightmare and it literally took me like an hour just to clear the first section and get till bingo. I then checked the guide and the requirement to get an S+ on this mode is literally crazy. I got so demotivated but decided to still go and at least complete this pro run, even if it takes me like another 20ish hours. Slowly and steadily my confidence rose as I pretty much skipped enemies and came up with strats to preserve ammo. To be honest, the game gets a bit easier if you play more strategically. Anyway, I had forgotten to complete just one side mission on my previous run and decided to complete it this time. Well, turns out this would get me the trophy, however, it would also shatter me to pieces. It was the dog mini boss encounter in the village and it was mental on the pro mode, especially when I wasn't too good on the ammo side of things. I somehow completed it, which got me jack of all trades. I then went to the cabin fight with ultra low resources and man, this fight killed me. However, I got a trophy for flashing 3 crabs at once. I was stuck here for hours, like I literally remember being stuck for the whole night and then coming back from work during lunch just to get another shot at it. I got lucky and saved enough shotgun ammo and grenades to take out the bull guy. However, I got hit again and was on the brink of death, but somehow the game showed me some mercy and Ashley came to my rescue. After this section, the next challenging part was the Mendes boss fight, which was difficult to cheese. Also, I would like to add here that I low-key cheated this playthrough by saving the game like mental, since there were no checkpoints, and running back through doors so the enemies would stop following me and I would shoot them to death. During this run, I sold super expensive jewelry to the merchant, which got me. Then I threw a grenade to shut Salazar up for good, which got me another trophy, but he didn't like that and chewed me to bits. The next hard section was the Krauser boss fight, but luckily there was a save before the actual boss fight, which saved me replaying it from the start every time I died. After that, I killed Sadler with the rocket launcher and somehow managed to get out of the island in one piece after dying on the motorboat section for like an hour. This unlocked the hard and pro mode trophies. Well, turns out since I got a B rank, it didn't unlock the Chicago typewriter, and I would have to play through the pro mode again and get a A rank to unlock it, as it's a requirement for one of the weapon related trophies. Luckily, I had the helmet for aim assist, armored Ashley, and hand cannon for this run. Again, it was a bit challenging, but we made it through with the S rank, which not only got me the best weapon in the game, but also a trophy for completing the game under 5.5 hours. After this, I restarted the game on assisted to clear off the treasure related trophies, the Clockwork Castellan trophy, no merchant talk run, handgun only run, no heal run, while also aiming for killing the Wolverine with the knife only trophy, clearing the lift trophy before Salazar fight, minecart trophy, and the speedboat trophy. Will I complete all of these in this one run, or will I fail? Well, you'll get all your answers
on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Me being the idiot that I am, I missed one treasure and I couldn't revisit that area, which made me miss the village treasure trophy. I made it to the castle and killed the Wolverine with just a knife, which popped. Never heard it coming. The card section was a child's play at this stage, and I was easily able to get Hope You Like Thrill Rides. After that, on the lift section, I made an extra save, bought an infinite rocket launcher, and blasted the fuck out of everyone, which popped Capacity Compliance. Up next, I gathered all the treasure in this map, which got me Raider. The Salazar boss fight wasn't easy, to be honest, since I would die in just 1 or 2 shots, and taking him out with just a red 9 was a bit challenging. It took me a few tries, but I somehow managed it and made it to the island. Again, the Krauser boss fight was a bit challenging as well, without weapon upgrades and healing. Making it till the final fight got me Burglar for collecting all the island treasure. Up next, I fought Sadler, and well, it backfired. I just couldn't beat him with just a pistol while getting one-shotted, and then I thought of why not just use the save to kill him 2 times separately, unlocking all the trophies. So I healed and finished him with my handgun and completed the boat sequence without getting a hit, which got me Smooth Escape, Minimalist, and Silent Stranger. After this, I reloaded the save, had a chat with the merchant, and killed Sadler without healing, which got me Frugalist. Well, turns out I missed 2 trophies, and I replayed the game till half of the castle section to unlock Bandit and Revolution Wind-Up, which unlocked the Primal Knife. Equipping it got me Gun Fanatic. Now only 2 more trophies stood in my way after playing the game 4.5 times, which were Standard S Plus and Hardcore S Plus trophies. I thought that clearing the game on Hard S Plus would unlock the Standard S Plus automatically, but turns out I was wrong, and I had to play it one more time on Standard to get another S Plus to unlock Mission Accomplished S Plus and finally unlock
'Cause boredom kills me.
the joy. I can't express it. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. Like, I bought the game for 60 euros, and I would say collecting all the trophies and completing the game 6 times across 2 to 3 weeks certainly was worth my money. And honestly, reviewing my recorded footage has low-key given me that craving to replay this masterpiece again. So I guess it's a win-win. Anyways, if you have made it till here and liked this video, then please hit the like button, comment for platinum recommendations, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and
Come back anytime.